Hello everyone, I'm Lottie Starshot, your local metrical girl with just a slight gotcha addiction. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today we're going to play through the first chapter of Obscura, The Descent. The first thing that attracted me to this is that it looks very dark and the art is really pretty. Like, the guys are very gorgeous. I would 100% romance and smooch them. I have my eyes on Cyrus the Priest, so please pray that I can somehow miraculously romance this man. Alright, let's go ahead and get started. Oh, I forgot to mention, this game was actually an entry for Tome Jam 2022, so definitely check this out and the other entries. No one goes into the mountain without a reason. Alright, a fire. Looks like we're outside a house. Looks like there's some kind of gates. Purpose of business, so it is a gate. Okay. Buying. No one takes their pass into the mountain. How are you going to pay? Some funds, some work. Good luck with that. Everyone knows what it means when you go. No one says anything about it. Give me your bags. The guard looks through my things with perfect efficiency. Bored, they start asking me questions. What are you doing? What are you going to be called down here? Oh, okay, so they give you the pronouns that you want to choose. She, her. What would you be called? Alright. Lottie, obviously. Oh, wow, I did that completely wrong. Hold on. I can't even spell my own name. Can you? Yes, you can. There we go. Alright, Lottie, and enter. Just Lottie. Good choice. You have a mask, Miss Lottie? No one would sell me one. Not a problem here. If you're buying, we're selling. The gate guard waves to the mask hanging around the entrance. Perhaps once worn by other visitors. Alright. Interesting how we need a mask. So I'm assuming our identities, like our face, can't be seen for a reason. The masks are an old custom. Plausible deniability. We are all faceless strangers under the mountain. Pick your poison. Okay. There's a charcoal colored one with worn lace and gold trim. The cream colored one with flowery details painted across the left side. Or the burgundy colored one with swirling embossed patterns. I wonder if the masks somehow influence your choices. Like maybe the masks kind of tell what your personality might be in the game. So I'm torn between top two. One with flowery details. I kind of like that one better. So we'll go ahead with this one. I take a mask off the wall and fit it to my face. It weighs in my head, but my mind feels lighter. I see my reflection in the mirror. Oh, we're gonna see what the mask looks like? Oh, okay, so that's just on the side. It's actually kind of pretty. The people under the mountain have beautiful taste. I hand the gate guard the money owed. Welcome to the marketplace. They step aside, allowing me passage into the tunnel in the side of the mountain. I begin my descent. At first, I have to wonder if I have been tricked in some way. The passage grows narrow, the air stale, and the path uneven. I am walking by the last feeble threads of light that reach this deep. Okay, very dark. But then I see something. A shimmering pale blue glow from around the corner. I fight through the narrow walls until I am able to turn the corner. The passage suddenly widens, then it opens. I step from the passage into a cavern, so massive I can hardly see the end of it. The marketplace. Alright, so it seems like the marketplace is inside the mountain, I'm assuming, since we're in like a cavern right now. There are several masked people who are seated or leaning against the walls around this little entryway, and now they are approaching me. Welcome, newcomer. A fresh face. Someone new could use a guide, couldn't they? Hucksters, or perhaps petty thieves looking for an easy mark. My valuables are kept under my heavy robe, safe from pickpockets. I steel myself and march forward past the strangers. Oh, thank God. Honestly, in real life, I would not have answered them because, talking to strangers is honestly hard. I just would have walked past and ignoring, no thank you, I'm good. There is no logic to this place. A fishmonger selling dried and salted fish sits next to a bookseller with stacks of forbidden tomes. A fungus man and a bird keeper are bickering. If they weren't obvious scans, I could have taken one of the offers for a guide and saved myself some time. At first, I glanced at each stall in turn. Out here, nearest the entry tunnel, all of the stalls are selling simple amenities or cheap thrills. The sort of things a departing traveler might want to have when they ascend. Not what I'm looking for. It's not here. Well, I suppose it wouldn't be. Asking one of the sellers, I get directions. The rough walls of this cavern, shifting and trembling in unsteady candle and glowworm light, slowly turn smooth where natural walls turn to human carved. The ramshackle stalls turn to ramshackle buildings to painted and varnished walls. The quality of goods on sale is improving as well. The cheap basics are behind me. Ahead are the rare, the luxurious, and illicit. So when we first come in, it seems like it's mostly cheap items, things people would try and probably impulse buy the first thing they see, but further we go in, the items become better in quality. The real reason anyone comes here. Seeing the sign for apothecary, an easily recognizable serpent coiling around a staff, I slip inside. Welcome. The shopkeeper is masked, of course, but that is not what grabs my attention. The din of hundreds of voices selling and buying and negotiating in the echoing caves is muffled, but not by much. That is because while the apothecary has four walls, there is no roof over the store. Newcomer, huh? What? You must be a fresh arrival. And why would you say that? You're staring where the ceiling should be. I see. I suppose in a city with no sun or rain, roofs are unnecessary. Only thing a roof keeps out in the marketplace is thieves. A common weather pattern here? Far too common. I make an effort to examine the apothecary's mask. It's plain. Plainer even than mine. Perhaps he is frugal, or perhaps he is poor by the standards of the marketplace. Well, you weren't driven in here by the weather. What do you need? I'm looking for a lunar ichor. Okay, no clue what that is, but very important if we're looking for it here. I resist the urge to explain my circumstances to the shopkeeper. No matter how meaningless or petty they seem, my secrets are one of the few resources I have in these steps. You have expensive tastes, or terrible luck. What I don't have is lunar ichor. Is that something you can remedy, apothecary? No. If money is a concern, I can make arrangements. It's not the money. I could never afford to stock that damnable ichor. Even if I could, I doubt I would be able to stomach it. The rumors were true then. That is unfortunate. Where does one go, then, to find that damnable ichor? Is it ichor or ichor? I should check that out later, actually. Smuggler dens, the vaults of the lords of the market. Or perhaps you could take a knife to the lunar god. Failing that, the auction house may provide. It's the largest house this side of the ruby walls. It even has a roof. The apothecary cannot see my smile, but I hope he can hear it. I thank you for your timely advice, sir. Save your thanks for the lunar god. It'll be a miracle if you get that ichor. I take my leave of the shop. The noise rises again from loud to deafening. There are tunnels and additional caverns in all directions, but I continued the way I was going. If the walls are getting smoother and the buildings more beautiful, then I am approaching the richest part of the market. It stands to no reason that this is where the auction house will be. Keeping my eyes up, it takes no time to find the auction house. It is, as the apothecary said, the largest house this side of the ruby walls. There are long chains of glowworms draped over the promised ridge roof that dangle and sway as the air shifts in the cavern. The building itself is deep, garnet red with gilded trim. Message received, you're very wealthy, whoever built this. The doors, covered in tiny engravings, impossible to interpret in the dim lights, are wide open. Bright, golden lamplight pours out into the street. People are freely milling in and out, and so I step inside. I am underdressed for the occasion, but neither of the guards standing at the doors moved to stop me. The sound of the outside suddenly dims, and I have to blink against the sudden brightness. I can hear my own muffled footsteps as I cross the plush carpet deeper into the auction house. The whispered conversations through masks make a thin fog of sound compared to the din outside. The signs are in a language I do not recognize, but I can make some educated guesses. The ornate double doors, standing locked and guarded, must lead to the actual auction hall. There is a short, uncarpeted hall with gleaming polished floors, lined with several doors. After a second, I see a giggling pair exit one of the rooms and straighten their clothes. Alright, activities, very strenuous activities perhaps. That explains that then. There is one door that is little more than a window on hinges, left open. I peer inside for a second, only to see an ordinary office. Come in. The stranger sitting behind the desk waves to me, and so I step inside. Pardon me, I didn't mean to intrude. You can't intrude on the bookkeeper. I must always be available. You must be? How else can anyone check to ensure I'm not meddling in the books? Does it really come to that? Well, I have no such concerns. A buyer, are you? Couldn't I simply be a browser? You really believe someone would come to the marketplace, to the auction house, just looking to see what they find? I suppose someone must have, in all of history. Well, if that's the scale you're measuring by. You, however, are not here to browse. No, I'm not. You're right. I am here to buy. Shall I show you the catalog for the next auction? I would appreciate it. The bookkeeper stands and hands me a sizable booklet. Do not damage it. Do not leave here with it. They open a drawer to their desk and hold up a knife. It's a little thing, but I have no doubt they could kill me with it. Alright, so the bookkeeper their little booklet with all the auction items is very, very important. So definitely we cannot take this, and I hope we do not take it. Then they sit again and resume their work. I flip through the book. There are objects of unimaginable value, works of art by artists even I know by name, an exquisite jeweled tiara fit for any princess, the deed to a country manor on the surface. Then there are wonders I have never dreamt of, the bird wreath in flames that never burns, the still beating bloodstone heart of some rock nymph, a potion of clear vision. I flip a page and am met with the miserable exposed face of a young adult. Their posture is low and defeated, but they are beautiful. Alright, so we have, I'm assuming human trafficking is here too. I kind of felt like that would honestly be happening considering where the marketplace is, illegal items. The text informs me that whatever is paid in the auction will be sent to the family within the mountain. Alright, so whoever this person is most likely decided to sell themselves so their family would have money, or maybe their family betrayed them and sold them instead. Surely not. I flip the page again. There are no other people in the catalog, but one is enough to turn my stomach. Thank you, bookkeeper. Finished already? What I want isn't in there. And what is it that you want? I'll check the history, see when it was last sold. I bite my tongue for a moment. Lunar Iker? Yeah, Iker, I think. An unlucky one, aren't we? So that's the second time someone called us unlucky. So this has to be like either a potion or an antidote. Maybe we're sick? I couldn't say. If you would, bookkeeper? They shuffle through a notebook. I try to read the text, but it is nearly impossible to interpret their faint pencil scratchings. More bad luck to heap onto your pile, I'm afraid. The last sale was 3 months back. It's unlikely we'll get another sale for months yet, unless someone new comes with the stock. It couldn't be easy, could it? And what was the final price for it? For a lot of 12. The number they tell me is stomach-dropping. I cannot gather those funds in a lifetime, even divided by 12. The price for a single vial is well beyond my means. Alright, so, stealing arc, maybe? My life savings weighed heavily in the coin purse under my robe. Dead weight, it seems. By your silence, I guess you don't have the money. Thank you for your time. I try to keep my voice neutral. When I leave the auction house, I momentarily lose my sight and hearing as I adjust again to the dim, echoing cavern. I didn't notice the direction my feet are taking me. My hopes for a quick visit to the marketplace had been thoroughly dashed. Now I have to determine what to do. Alright, we have to regroup ourselves. Obviously, we're shocked about the price of the item we need. Alright, choices. I'll think better after some rest. I can't afford to give up. Very different choices that can probably have the story go in different directions. Oh, and I'm not using a walkthrough. They do have a guide for the chapter 1 if maybe you want to get a specific guy or a specific ending that they have. But yeah, I'm not using a walkthrough through this one. I'm going in without it. Alright, I'll think better after some rest. I can't afford to give up. Do I want to do what I think will advance the story or what a decision I'll actually do? Because I would literally just go and rest somewhere first before regrouping. You know what? I'll go... Can't afford to give up or think better after some rest. I'll keep on going. I'll keep on going and see what happens. I'll do something different than what I'll usually do. I cannot allow myself to give in to difficult circumstances. If I give up on getting the lunar Iker, I might as well throw myself off the mountain. For now, I need a place to stay. My feet ache from the climb up the mountain, and my spirit is draining away in these cramped, noisy conditions. Alright, even though we just chose to not give up, we're still gonna take a rest. Okay. I stopped by a stall and asked directions for a decent inn, rest stop, public house, anything. Following the directions through a short tunnel, I wandered through a quieter district of the marketplace. Though quiet is relative. The guest house is a challenge to find, though I hesitate to call the ground down walking past roads. There are rest houses lining them on either side. The Leaping Bear, the guest house recommended to me, is nothing remarkable. The building has a roof, but the building itself is made of raw wood. The brass doorknob is smooth under my hand, polished by the thousands of guests who come and go. Inside, the atmosphere is boisterous, but on the scale of a handful of people singing a drinking song. The chaos outside is already muffled and distant. Welcome! The woman who approaches has her face fully covered in a bear mask, but her neckline is untied and exposed. I wonder who she works for. Hello, I was told this is a good establishment to stay the night. You were told right. Except the part about night. Here, there's no real difference between night and day. Plenty of folks are up all hours of the day, as you do, just sleeping when they're tired and forgetting the sun ever existed. I see. The bare-masked woman has me sign into a guest book and pay for the night. You have the room for 24 hours. If you're staying longer, I expect you here to pay for more time before it runs out, or else all your things will be sent to a moon shrine. I'll remember. Thank you. And you'll be needing these. She hands me a dull metal medallion and a leather string and a key. Dear Rufus, over here! She gestures to a mountain of a man, also in a bear mask, standing by a door. Make sure only guests go to the rooms. That medallion proves you're a guest. Don't lose it. Or else I'll find my things at a moon shrine? Pick things up quickly, you do. Seems like an important skill to have here. Quite right. She gets back to her business, so I approach the mountain of a man guarding the door to the rooms. Hello, Rufus. I hold up the medallion and wait. I'm not about to rush a man with a bat, especially one as bloodstained as he is. Then he nods, and I am granted passage. He watches me go to my assigned room. I suppose it's a good measure to prevent theft, but then so is a bloodstained bat. Sleep doesn't come easily at first. How can I risk sleeping in the marketplace? But it does come for me. In the metaphorical cold light of morning, I see the sense in my choice last night. I cannot leave the marketplace without Lunar Ichor. Thus, staying is my only real choice. I'm able to order something like breakfast from the Leaping Bear's kitchen, and then sit deep in thought, staring at a bowl of porridge. Eating in this mask is a bit of a bother. I have to navigate the spoon around the mask. They're clasps, you know. I start at the sudden appearance of the proprietress. Huh? Feel along the side of your mask. There should be pins or clasps holding the bottom part. I do as she said, and find little clasps holding the two parts of our mask together. Well, I feel like a proper fool. For real, we could have eaten properly this whole time. We must have looked like an idiot trying to put the spoon around our mask this whole time. It already feels strange having my mouth exposed. Like a funny kind of nudity. Newcomers are all a bit foolish. That's part of their charm. Thank you, I think? Just keep your wits about you. You'll live. You make it sound so dire. Well, you're here, aren't you? You're not wrong. No one comes here without good reason, I should think. What's yours? A personal matter. Buying or selling, that's all there is down here after all. Buying. Something I might not be able to afford, it turns out. That won't narrow things down too much for her. Well, depends how you try to buy things, doesn't it? Money will get you anywhere if you have enough of it, but there's other roads out there. Is that something you know a lot about? I couldn't say. I only know what stories the guests bring in. She says it flippantly enough that there may be a story there, but I resist the urge to dig. Then I suppose my next job is to find what paths I can use. Thank you. Oh, not a problem. The mask troubled everyone at first. She sweeps away the handle to another matter, and I'm left with far more productive thoughts. Money won't get me Lunar Ichor, but something else might. Influence? Friendship? Violence? Guilt? My body, if it comes down to it. Anything. So we're really desperate for this. There's a lot to think about. Am I going to stay in a guest house for weeks or months? What possible ways are there to get Lunar Ichor? If we're going to stay here for that long, we definitely need more money to stay in this inn. So we probably might have to do like odd jobs here and there. Let's start with one foot in front of the other. Over the next several days, I get to learn the layout of the marketplace. It's an ever-shifting rat's nest of stalls and passages and unmanaged pathways, but there are some fixed landmarks. I can navigate somewhat comfortably by those landmarks when they are visible. One evening, based on my eternal clock, the proprietress of the Leaping Bear hints over a meal that, as long as I am well behaved, she'll be willing to extend more generous long-term rates to me. I wasn't planning to misbehave, even so less with Rufus keeping an eye on me, and so that settles the matter of lodging for the moment. As for the lunar ichor, I'm at a loss. It is rare, absurdly rare, and based on the reactions of those I speak to about it, some aspect of it is very taboo. Likely the condition it treats. Okay, so we are sick, or it's someone we know who is sick. I'm wandering one of the quieter passages, clearly natural about how uneven the ground is. It's mostly homes built on whatever smooth patch of stone the builder could find. But there is one that towers over the rest. A tall church with heavy oaken doors. Priest? Priest? Are we gonna meet the priest? Where normally I would see a golden 10-pointed solar sigil, instead there is a more simplistic crescent-shaped one, the lunar sigil. I suppose the solar god isn't much help down here. I have seen the eerie blue-green light of glowworms and the smoky gold of lanterns, but I have not seen the sun since I started my descent. Churches dedicated to the lunar god exist outside the mountain, but not in any significant number. The lunar god, lunar ichor. It couldn't hurt to ask, could it? I'm not sure I believe that the lunar god must bleed for there to be lunar ichor, but there's no harm in asking. Alright, I 100% understand why it's so expensive now if they believe lunar ichor is the blood of the lunar god. Okay. Hey, stop! I halt in my pathway instinctively, although after a moment, I can see no one was speaking to me. Instead, there is a raucous crowd gathering just down the tunnel, shouting and tussling. Alright, so a fight? A few people in utilitarian masks and what looks like uniforms are trying to push their way through. Looks like trouble. I don't want to get in trouble, honestly. I might just run to the safety of the church, but it will be interesting to see what happens next. I feel like this is like branching how we meet different characters, so I'm gonna go to the church and pray we get to meet the priest. In my haste to escape the ruckus outside, I scramble towards the entrance. Then, once I ascertain they aren't locked, I slip through the imposing massive oak doors. Oh, okay. What's your safe word? We need a safe word? Oh, okay. Okay, we need a safe word. Okay. Ikemen? Ikemen, there we go. Safe word. The carvings in the wood press into my palms, a surprisingly comforting ground sensation. Not sure what the safe word is going to be used for, but that's going to be interesting to see as we continue. Then, once the door closes, the change in the atmosphere hits me. Oh, that's really pretty. First is the smell, candle smoke, heavy incense, and cold, crumbling stone. Then comes the solemn silence, the kind that reminds you of your place within these holy walls and the oppressive tall ceiling. I'm finally alone. Even for just a little while. I take the moment to release the breath I was holding and take in my surroundings. This is where the inhabitants of the underground come to worship the lunar god. It's also a reminder that I still haven't found any adequate leads for the ichor. When I take a couple of steps down the carpeted path between the aisles, I suddenly make out a figure behind the altar. Priest, 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 praying it's the priest. They're wearing long robes. Priest, please? A priest, maybe? Is it him? Is it him? Excuse me? Please be him. Please be him. Please be him. Please be him. I am praying. Please be him. I call out, taking care not to raise my voice too loud. The person shuffles around, and I see their masks too. Well, of course they would be. Even those in service in the lunar god cannot afford to take risks here. It is him! It is him! It's him! It's him! That's what I was waiting for. Look at him. He's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I love the long hair. And his mask just goes so well. And look at his outfit. Jesus Christ. I am in love with this person. And I've only known him for literally 10 seconds. Oh! I just noticed my safe word is up here. Is that to abort something? I guess we'll see later on. As they approached, I noted the distant glimmer of a golden brooch nestled between the folds of their clothes. Proof of their holy devotion. Oh my god, he's so pretty. I'm gonna cry. Their entire appearance is refined and almost ethereal. Long, silver locks of hair cascading down their shoulders. Delicate fabrics wrapped around their shoulders, and long, perfectly gloved fingers. A rich silken voice. It takes me off guard. Do my ears deceive me, or has another fight broken out? Oh, that pose, that pose. The priest stops a few meters from me, and from here, I notice that their mask doesn't cover their mouths, which is set into a thin, disapproving line. You're right, it's quite the scene outside. I pause. I was hoping I could lay low here for a while. I'm not one for brawls. My star. The church will always be a place of safety for those who need it. Please stay as long as you like. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. He called me his star. I hope he doesn't call anyone else that, or I'm gonna get jealous maybe. I was taught that all lunar priests call believers their stars, but it still makes me smile. Well, there goes that idea. Well, thank you, Father. A twitch of their lips. Cirrus, you need not call me by those stuffy titles. A man's name. I had a feeling. It's likely not his real one, as is the case with most people in the marketplace, but even a fake name speaks volumes about someone's personality. Would you like to light a candle while you're here? Why is he so pretty though? This is too much. Huh? Sure, why not? I follow him towards the back of the church, past the initial altar, and stop in front of the statue. It towers over us, surrounded by row after row of marine blue candles, and the sight takes my breath away. A sea of light. I don't believe I've seen you around these parts before. Is he making small talk? I light a match and watch the flame flicker softly as I bring it to the wick. But I can only answer the vague pleasantries to make sure I don't divulge important information. No, I'm not exactly a traveler on most days. Think I might see the appeal now, though. Is that so? Despite not being able to see through his mask, I feel them on me. Cirrus makes no effort to follow up on his last comment, and the two of us fall into silence. You're a bit of an unusual priest, aren't you? His lips twitch again, forming into a polite smile. Would you care to elaborate? I'll consider it. We're standing closer now, shoulders only slightly apart as we watch the new flame sway in unison with the rest. There's such a strange comfort to it all. I could linger here for hours, soaking up the atmosphere. What's it like, being a priest, I mean? Demanding answers of me while not offering up your own. Behind my mask, I suppress a smile as his light prodding. You've got me there. Well, I understand your caution. This is by no means a safe environment. But if it's any comfort, my star, I am bound to the lunar scriptures. It's my job to ensure that visitors here feel safe and cared for. The words roll off his tongue with practiced ease. Aw, man. I like the way he calls me his star. I don't trust him in the slightest. I mean, I'm a dummy who 100% trusts this man. Alright, I'm going with my heart with this one, even if it might get me killed. I hope it doesn't get me killed, though. I like the way he calls me his star, even though they call other people that. I know that's what you call everyone, but... Are we really saying it? Wait, I thought it was just gonna be a thought. Being called a star does make one feel a little special. Oh my god. I have been exposed. They exposed me for real. My answer makes him pause for a bit. Please still love me? You are special. Everyone is in their own way. If everyone is special, then that kind of defeats the purpose of the sentiment, doesn't it? I'm mouthing off for the sake of it at this point, funneling the day's frustrations into banter. But Sirius doesn't mind. I feel his eyes on me again, with increased intensity. Would you rather I say you're a bit more special than everybody else? His voice is laced with unexpected warmth, teasing me like an old friend would. This time, I can't stop myself from chuckling. I'm not opposed to it. But I think I ought to head back soon. Errands won't run themselves. Good luck with that, my star. What can I call you next time we meet? Next time, huh? Oh, so he's expecting me to come back, and he is right about that one. Lottie. Sirius repeats it, testing the pronunciation. Then, a smile spreads across his lips. It suits you. Thanks, picked it myself. Quite the mouthy one, aren't you? It's part of my endless charm. Are we flirting? Is this what flirting is? I honestly do not know. I hope it is, though. That it is. We bid each other a polite farewell, and before I know it, I'm alone in the streets again. Can I go back, though, and just stay with him? I trudge through the market stalls, sweeping over any new available content, as I have every single day since coming down here. Murky colored crystals, vials filled with shimmering liquids, rare animal leathers. But nothing even remotely resembling the ichor catches my eye. The serenity that filled me at the church is instantly quashed. Instead, all I feel is dread. I've already been over this. Would Sirius know anything the way we're already attached to this man? It's worth asking, and it's the perfect excuse to head back to the church tomorrow. Until then, I keep walking, because that's all I can do to keep myself busy. At night, I toss and turn. Not even the inn's freshly cleaned sheets do anything to soothe my restlessness. Before I know it, it's the next day, and I've barely gotten a wink of sleep. The bare-masked caretaker stops by for the usual breakfast chatter, but my mind is elsewhere. All I want is answers. Eventually, I'm back at the doors of the lunar church. I wonder if Sirius expected us to visit again so soon? Something about them beckons me, a deep magnetism that draws me straight through the entrance without a second thought. There's a different instance wafting around today. It tickles my nose with notes of mahogany and velvet. I expected to see Sirius in the same spot as yesterday, but finding him further in this time, with an unmasked woman kneeling before him. It takes me a moment to understand what's happening. The priest doesn't say a word. His stature is imposing and almost regal, practically towering over the other woman, completely different from yesterday. I can't really make out what he's saying, but she doesn't move, and eventually, his hands find its way to the top of her head. Perhaps he's blessing her? Oh God, please be blessing her and not be doing something else in the church. Oh God, please let it be a blessing and not what I'm thinking it might be. I wonder why the atmosphere is so heavy in here. I decide to hang back. Oh God, I am praying, please. It's not my place to interrupt whatever ritual may be going on. My eyes rove over the decor instead, specifically the paintings and the detailed scenes they depict. Massive oils on canvas, crackling with age at the edges. The larger one shows the two gods at opposing ends, dancing around the earth in harmony. The arms reach out for one another as their endless rotation continue on into the collapse of the universe itself, unable to ever reunite. It's a little sad. Lottie? Oh, okay. I don't think he was doing what I was thinking. It was probably just me having a dirty mind. I didn't notice him approach. Sirius' tone is warm and comforting, and the smile right under his mask peeks out as usual. It's as though the ceremony from earlier never even happened. Hey, I'm back. Didn't want to disturb you back there. Back there? Oh. He tilts his lips. He tilts his head, lips stretching into a mysterious smile. Did I make you curious by any chance? A little. About the ceremony? Yes. I mean, yeah, I am a bit curious. I have to know, or it's just gonna be in the back of my mind. You both seem so serious. Don't think I've ever seen anything like it. There's a pleased rumble coming from his chest. She was readying herself for something important in her life and needed some reassurance. So she turned to the lunar god itself and demanded she be fully cleansed. Why? Simply so that she may begin the chapter with a clear conscience. More than that, I cannot say. Privacy and such. That's fine. Thanks for explaining. Either way, I'm sure you didn't come here just to spy on me and the paintings. His comment makes me smile. Maybe I did. If I could see his eyebrows, the tone of his voice suggests they'd be raised right now. I suggest you're right, though. I'm in need of advice. A pause. My star, nothing pleases me more than knowing you feel comfortable enough to come here for help. It's because you're pretty, though. Sirius comes closer, and for the first time, I take notice of his height compared to mine. He's got to be at least a full head taller. What can I do for you? I hesitate, unsure if he really should be trusted or not. Trust him. I'm looking for something. Lunar ichor, to be specific. Okay, what's going to be his reaction? That's something I'm very worried about. Yep, there it is. Something in his demeanor shifts when he hears this. Yeah, alright. So here we go. You're sure? Quite sure. That's quite the task. What do you need such a precious resource for? Nosy old... Oh. Oh, I see. Factum anima. I thought the illness had very well vanished from this world. Okay, so we got more information. Fractum anima. So it is an illness that should have been gone, but apparently not. So either we have it or someone we know, but I'm betting it's us? His words startle me as I anxiously stare up at his face, hoping to catch a glimpse of his eyes through the holeless mask. The only better way to ascertain if he's telling the truth, if he actually knows what he's talking about. But I see nothing, of course. Only the intricate embossing in the metal surface. He knows the name of my illness. Wasn't expecting that. Alright, so you do have confirmation. It is us with that illness. How do you... I've encountered it before, though it remains exceedingly rare. As is the cure, of course. I assume you've asked around and seen for yourself. The weight of the situation returns to me, as my chest feels like it's being crushed. I know. I feel him placing his hand on my head to give it a gentle pat, a compassionate gesture. Then the same hand trails down to cut my cheek over the masked surface. The sudden intimacy of the gesture makes me jolt. My star. What if I told you there might be another way? Under the privacy of my mask, my eyes go wide. Impossible. I wouldn't be so sure. The lunar god is benevolent, wondrous being. Jesus, I said that word completely wrong. Goosebumps erupt all over my skin, and my heart leaps into my throat. It's too good to be true. It has to be. There's no way he could have the answers right here. I can't stop staring at him, waiting for him to elaborate. Sirius' other hand captures my other cheek, so my head is cradled in his embrace as his voice drops an octave. You're shivering. Time around us seems to come to a standstill. I don't have the cure here, not yet, but I want to help you. I see how brightly you shine, and how much you want to overcome this. I can never turn a blind eye to this kind of hunger for life. Will you let me help you, Lottie? It's all yes either way. I wonder if they have any different reactions, effect to the story. But literally, it's all yes. That's all we have to do. I can't accept, but yes, just straight up yes. Am I dreaming? Please, I'll take any help I can get. I'm in disbelief. There has to be a catch here somewhere. I need to know the details. But he's been so kind to me. I have a hard time doubting the validity of his claims. Sirius readjusts his gloves with practiced movement. I'll need a bit of time. Getting a hold of the substance is no easy feat. The disappointment in his tone is obvious, and I believe him. Even for someone with more influence, there's bound to be obstacles in the way. How will you get a hold of it then? Have you heard of the lunar god's healing prowess, my star? He turns to face the giant statue, surrounded by the candles, and motions for me to follow. I have. And how much do you know about it? As we both come to a halt, heads tilted up to get a full view of the statue and its surroundings, I respond with silence. Long ago, it was said that priests were able to receive a sample of the blood that flows in their higher beings' veins to save their people. That is the Ichor that we know of today. Pure, concentrated life force infused with their powers. In this case, healing powers. But there is no reliable way to get a hold of it these days. I hold my breath. That being said, this blood had once been taken and thoroughly analyzed by a man who then went into hiding. Rumors goes that he left all his notes behind after passing away. A gasp leaves my lips. You're saying we could find these notes and replicate the composition of a real lunar ichor? Precisely. My mind goes into overdrive. How could this be the first time I've heard of it? Where do you know all this from? Sirius' smiles widen. The man went by the name of Nexus, and he was a fellow priest from this very church. This has to be too good to be true. It's just not possible. How? Please rein in your expectations, Lottie. As he uses my name, the timbre of his voice turns serious once more. I did not know him well. Few people did. He was a reserved person with not much to his name. Finding his residence, or wherever he may have hidden his secret, is bound to be a difficult task, and I'll need all the help I can get. And even once we find these notes, there is no guarantee we'll be able to replicate it with the information we have, nor that someone will do it. The knot returns to my throat, and I have more to cling onto than when I first arrived. Better to try than do nothing at all. Indeed. Something grabs a hold of me, determination unlike any I've ever felt before. Hope soothing my heart. Even if just for a little, I can't quite let my guard down fully. But this is the first step. Eventually, we fall into silence as we stare back at the statue. Just checking, but it's not as easy as just saying pretty please and then having the ichor appear before us. He chuckles. Unlikely, but if you'd like to offer a prayer, that will always be encouraged. I contemplate the idea. You know what? I'll do it. I'll go ahead and offer a prayer. It can't hurt. But I'm not sure how to. I don't know any lunar prayers. Allow me to guide you, my star. I nod. His shadowy mask turns my way, lips set into a neutral line. On your knees. The usual warmth of his voice is completely stripped from his command, and I very quickly realize that he must be in the mindset he was in earlier when he helped cleanse the other woman. For now, I obey. Shoulders straight, hands together. The words are efficient and utter no nonsense. It's easy to tell he's done this a million times before. Chin up, Lottie. Do not hide your face from the lunar god. Expose your emotions. I feel... This is the pleasure one. Wait, what happens if I choose pleasure? I'm actually... Hold on, wait. Hold on. Save. Okay. And return. I want to choose pleasure. I really want to. Is this gonna... Either vulnerable or pleasure, but pleasure's looking really good right now. Do I do it? Alright, I'm going for it. This is strange, but my body flushes at his shift in tone. Being commanded like this makes something deep inside me unfurl. Every subsequent breath I take fills me with warmth, and every next order makes my skin tingle. My mind is so acutely receptive to every word he says. You're almost there. Almost there to where, though? Simply repeat after me, my star. I don't know if he puts his hands together as well. I don't dare look back, but he begins a short prayer, speaking solemnly and clearly. I repeat the words after him, again and again. We fall into a trance, and with that, I hope that my pleas reach the moon. You did excellently, my star. He bends down to my level, where I gaze up at him, mind still fogged up by the experience. I am so proud of you. No doubt they're honored to have received such a heartfelt prayer. I'm still in a haze. Words don't really want to come out. All I do is listen and subconsciously lean towards Saris. When I try to open my mouth to say something, his gloved thumb slips under my mask to push it ever so slightly, just enough to reveal the lower part of my face under the nose. Wait, what is he doing? Hello? Allow me. Wait! Hello? Wait, what is he doing? I would have never allowed anybody to do this to me under any other circumstances. But in this moment, I trust him enough to see the small part of me, and as his fingers sweep over my lower lip, I can barely suppress a whimper. Serious? Easy. His smile stretches into a pleased grin. Wait, what's going on? You're going to be alright. When the doors to the church start creaking, his hands wrapped around mine to help me up, and as a couple of visitors begin filtering in, the spell is broken, and I snap out of it. Okay, this man has a hold over me, and I honestly do not mind. I'm literally willing to do whatever it takes to get this man to love me. My star? Yes, I'm okay now. I shake my head and concentrate on staying upright. My inner clock tells me it's time to head back. Thank you for today. I'll come back tomorrow so we can start searching. By all means, I'll do my utmost to find any leads, and I'll let you know if there's anything to work with. We share a quiet smile. Get home safe, Lottie. Oh my god. I leave the church and step outside, right back into the darkness. On my way back to the Leaping Bear, I stop at a food stall for some hearty potato soup, and allow myself to take a bit of time to relax. I don't think I'll ever truly get used to not seeing the sun, but I'm starting to warm up to the underground as a whole. Halfway through another sip, I think back on what happened at the church. My cheeks flush red under the mask. We loved it. We loved it. Like, no jokes. I don't want to tap it again. I feel guilty for. Nah, we love that shit. We're embracing this. We're embracing this. I can't help it. I want it to happen again. I still feel the pressure on my lips. Obeying him felt easy, natural almost, and the haze that came with it felt as potent as one of the apothecary's pain-killing vials. I don't even think I care that he's a priest. Either way, I have to come to terms with what happened. And I need to calm down. After lording around for just a bit longer, I pay for my soup and begin my long detour back. Passing through the marketplace so many times means that I have started becoming a familiar face, and that in turn, I recognize some of the owners. Still looking? Unfortunately, yes. I'll keep my eyes peeled for you. The owner of the bookstall nods in my direction, and I know without a doubt he will. Like many others setting up shop here, he can be a treasure trove of rumors and information. Say, could I ask you something? Depends what it is. Have you heard of a priest going by the name of Nexus? The shopkeeper falls silent in thought and drums his finger on the surface of the wooden display table. Can't say I have. Why? Heard he passed. I kept my intentions vague, and if he notices, he doesn't press it. Not exactly an uncommon occurrence around these parts. Thanks anyway. Today's search is unsuccessful yet again, but I don't let it bother me. After all, I have serious sleep. Just as I'm about to turn back towards the inn, I nearly dodged bumping square into someone's chest. Oh, okay, I think he's one of the other love interests. Fancy-looking stranger. I bow my head in apology, but the stranger fumbles back, distraught. Oh, no, oh dear, I hope I didn't startle you. All good here. Are you okay? Please don't worry about me. I should be apologizing instead. I'm not sure how to feel about this sudden outburst. When I take in their appearance, I instantly know it's one of the noble sun from the surface. His skin sports a rich, sun-kissed glow that almost makes me envious. The high quality of the suit's fabric and the elaborate pieces of jewelry don't lie either. They're selected with obvious care and attention to the outfit as a whole. Even the mask is perfectly coordinated with the rest of his suit. That's not necessary. I'm fine. Look. I hold up my hands to show no harm was done. Oh, I'm sure I'm glad. I hope we'll meet again, if you don't mind me saying. You are a very kind person. The person takes my hand and brings it to the lips, an old-fashioned custom at this point. I'm surprised to see anybody still doing such a thing. I don't want to be rude, just say thank you. There really is no need for this, but thank you. My pleasure. At first glance, he's an easily frightened sort. I'm not sure how much of that is genuine. Please take care, and allow me to make this up to you someday. The person quickly excuses themselves, and I'm left baffled. The underground truly is a strange place. It's a testament to how many different people congregate down here. But you never really know who you're talking to after all. I shake the thoughts from my head and finally find my way back to my room, where my bed welcomes me after a strange day out. It's funny how familiar this inn room has become too. Even seeing Rufus' face and his bloody weapon every day has become something of a comfort. I'm sure that eventually the church will feel the same. The same church is empty the next day I step inside. There's nothing but the echoes of my own calls for Cirrus, and the flicker of the candles around the statue. For a while, I simply wait in front of the altar. 5 minutes turn into 10, which turn into 20. At this point, I'm pacing around the candles, wondering where he is. Didn't he say he might have some information today? Curiosity and boredom take me to the back of the church, where I see an doorways lead to who knows where. Maybe there is chambers? That's when I hear it. Hear what? The muffled shouts. The left door is slightly ajar, and as I peek past, as discreetly as I can muster, I finally catch a glimpse of Cirrus. And he's not alone. Oh, okay. There we go. Yeah, okay, obviously. Obviously he has a dark side to him. I should have seen that one coming. Okay, this is fine. This is perfectly fine. There's a strange tension in the air, one far more prominent than yesterday, and it dawns upon me as I lean further against the wall that he's genuinely angry. The usually smooth, silken tone of his voice is raised towards the person in front of him. I don't know who it is, but they have their hands raised defensively, and their own words came out with much difficulty. Do better. I promise, please. Just give me time. This is not good enough. The venomous hiss makes me jump. I never expected to hear this kind of anger coming from a priest of all people. On holy ground, no less. I can't speed up the process. Not anymore. They'll be onto me. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Show me that you're sorry. A shiver runs down my spine. Kinda like it though. What is happening right now? Cirrus expectantly hands the person in front of him something that gleams in the candlelight, pale and deathly. Is he telling this man to slice himself? It's a blade? My body immediately tenses at the sight, and my heartbeat skyrockets. I have to do something. Is it even saying? Oh, are we gonna have to interfere? I kinda don't want to. Can I just keep the nice vision of him being all nice and kind of sexy? Well, angry him is kind of sexy too, but damn. Is this gonna be one of the time choices? Because this game does have time choices, and I swear to God, I'm just gonna not make it. It's gonna be a time choice. I just know it. Shit, what do I do? Wait, how long are they gonna give me? I might have to intervene and be like, hey, don't do this. It is time to interfere. Confront Cirrus after the person leaves. Walk away. After they leave, I can't do it. I can't move. I'm too paralyzed by the sight in front of me. Just walk back to the altar. Oh crap, I could have just pressed leave, couldn't I? I kind of want to interfere now. Damn it. How could this be happening? The person now wielding the knife holds it in their hands as they would a precious jewel, then looks up at Cirrus. Their voice trembles. Right here? Mm-hmm. No, you're right. In front of the statue would be a more fitting setting for this. Oh, is he gonna see me out in the hallway? Yeah, fuck indeed. Shall we? Yes, by all means. In my panic, I try to shuffle back noiselessly, but one of my steps nearly fumbles, allowing the clacking sound to echo freely between the walls. Oh, well, I mean, we just gave ourselves away. Who's there? Not me. Do not answer. Run out of the church. We were not here. Just walk in later. Be like, oh, hey, Cirrus, what's up? I literally just walked in here. Did not see a single thing. Nope. It's too late to run. Would they find? Just as I'm about to make a run for it, a hand clutches onto the fabric of my robe. Hard. Never seen the person before. Aw, man. Well, R.I.P. to us, I guess. No matter how much I struggle, there's no time. In just a few seconds, I'm face to face with Cirrus himself. Okay. How's he gonna react? If I didn't know better, I say he's stunned to see me. Just say we saw nothing, we literally just walked into this man holding a knife. That is it. He nods once in the other person's direction. He proceeds to drag me through the doorway and unceremoniously toss me into the room. Lottie? Cirrus? Cirrus' voice turns back to the warm, comforting one I've always heard. But right now, I don't know if I trust it. I mean, you can still trust it, right? You shouldn't be here, my star. I'm simply taking care of some sensitive matters. You have to understand. Sensitive matters? Really? You gave him a knife. One that he was going to use on himself. On himself. He pauses. I think you have the wrong idea. What I gave him was not a weapon, but a ritual dagger. One used in elaborate dances and rituals of repentance. Alright, so he's gotta be lying or he's making that up on the spot just to trick me. I don't like this. I'm left utterly speechless. I stare at Sirius, then back at the trembling person. When I ask them if this is true, they nod. They honestly could be so scared that they're just going along with it. I think I should leave. I think you're staying right where you are. When I gaze up at the priest, he's smiling in a way that gives me chills. Leave for now. We'll continue this later. Oh, please don't leave. Or maybe do. I'm so confused. Oh, this is carouse. When you're scared and like halfway aroused, this is me right now. I don't know how to feel about this situation. He dismisses the shivering person without so much as a glance in their direction. They immediately obey and scuttle off. Then the door shuts behind us. And when I ask why Sirius is locking it, he gives me no answer. He tucks away the key in a pocket. Am I gonna die? I cannot be dying in chapter 1, right? And with that, there's no way out. When I refuse to look up at him, his fingers grasp my chin with surprising strength and force me to meet his masked gaze. Do you make it a habit of snooping around and eavesdropping like this? Usually, I don't have to. But then I heard shouting. You poor thing. His smile twists cruelly. Oh crap, am I gonna die? I did keep you waiting for quite a while. Did you miss me? I'm not sure what's making my heart race faster right now. The adrenaline or the fact that he's so close. No matter. Oh, okay. I'm going to teach you some manners. Listening in on important conversation is very, very naughty. What lesson? He steps even closer, completely suffocating me with his presence. Have you ever been punished before, my star? Huh? Punishment? Yes, I'll think of something adequate for a little eavesdropper like you. Of course, this is your first infraction. I'll go easy on you. But penance is an utmost importance down here, and I think you best keep that soul of yours unblemished. I feel something inside me shiver at that thought. His words sound like the most delicious promise, one that I'm all too happy to help fulfill. Alright, this is what happens when you go with the I like what he's doing to me route, and I don't mind. Yes? Yes, I'm... Hush, little star. As much as I enjoy the sound of your voice, you really do talk too much. He takes a step back, finally allowing me a bit of personal space. Then he immediately turns and makes his way to one of the minimalist wooden shelves in the corner of his room. He's gonna get something out. Bruh, is he gonna bend me over and spank me? I don't know what he's gonna do. There's barely anything in here, save for sleeping arrangements and some storage. His shelves, on the other hand, are crammed full of jewelry, books, and small, neatly labeled vials. Oh, what's he gonna make me drink? It's the vials he's aiming for, as a long digit reaches out to brush over one of their corks. I'm wary of his every move. And when Sirius is back in front of me, two of the mysterious vials in hand, I tensed up. I'm aware the situation may have you a little on edge, but I need you to trust that this is for your own good. His expression falls, and in that moment, I wish I could see his eyes. What would I find if I looked deep within them? But the more I think about it, the less I understand. please. For the first time, I hear him beg me. It's a completely alien feeling. Now that is what I like to hear. I would love to have him beg even more, honestly. What do you have there? I try my hardest to keep my voice neutral as I ask. Sirius pops one of the vials open with nimble fingers, releasing a sudden waft of strong, honey-like aroma. Cloyingly sweet, almost coating the back of my throat from the smell alone. I think we're staring at each other now. The intensity of it makes my hair stand on end. Raise your mask and open your mouth. I mean, I might as well obey. I got nothing else to lose, right? I hardly understand myself right now. I may as well have asked one of the thieves to watch over my purse. But something tells me Sirius doesn't want to kill me. No, if he did, he would have done so earlier. His intentions, although I fail to understand them, are not evil. So I undo the clasp of the mask, then lift my head back, lips parted. Perfect. So very perfect. Such an obedient little thing. He approaches, and the first trickle of liquid hits my tongue. The nectar is just as thick as the initial smell, but now that it runs over my taste buds, I'm overwhelmed by the flowery, syrupy aftertaste. I feel it sticking to my lips like a glaze, and when he continues pouring, it trickles down my chin. It doesn't taste bad, but something feels off. As the liquid settles in my stomach, I feel strangely aware of everything. The way my nails scrape over the skin of my palm, the way my chest expands with every new breath, fragrance of the incense and how it clouds my mind. I promise you, it's just temporary. He speaks in a soothing, measured way. What's temporary? Sirius' hands rest on my shoulders, and while I feel every single digit through the cloth, the sensation of him trailing those fingers down the length of my arm just elicits a small shiver. Did he give us an aphrodisiac or something? Instead, it feels like sharp, cold wave that borders on actual pain, taking me entirely off guard. Okay, so maybe it's the opposite of that, and I do not know the word for that. My breath catches in my throat, and it feels like an overload of sensation, like claws digging around my lungs. And there's an affection lingering under the cruel curve of his lips, and it takes everything in my power to not make any sudden moves. No, the sooner you complete your task, the better. You'll see. It's not too difficult, and the lunar god would be so very pleased with you. He's taking his time, walking in slow circles around me, observing me. You're going to do so wonderfully. I notice amidst my panic that the second vial in his hand contains uncooked rice. But why? His thumb pries the cork off the top, and with a tilt of the wrist, he empties the contents of the vial, showering the wooden floors in tiny pale grains. I hate that I feel afraid to ask what it's for. Knees? He whispers, and I know it's not an order I can defy. Does he want me to kneel on the rice? But the moment my knees reach the floor, the rice digging into my skin, and I instantly notice. My legs feel like they're on fire. Okay, so the first vial basically gave us like a huge sensory overload bordering on pain. And the rice basically has us standing on it, and so we're feeling that pain even more. Okay. The individual grains push further into my knees, and with the muffled curse, I try adjusting my position. What the fuck is this? Just as I shift to look up, the sight of Sirius holding an actual leather flogger makes me release a strange sound I didn't know I was capable of making. No? Easy there, easy. You're going to do it yourself, so it won't be so bad. After all, you're the one who must repent. I take a deep, careful breath. What if I refuse? Sirius chuckles, but it's devoid of warmth. Then I suppose I had to take matters into my own hand, Can't have my little star ruining her chances. Those are really tempting to have Sirius do it himself, honestly. But it honestly feels interesting to see him actually watch us do it to ourselves. I'm gonna do it to myself and see what happens. Okay. I want to obey. It's what feels best. And if that means going through with some questionable things and suffering physical pain, I want it. I want it all. Oh, okay. I really turned this into a masochist, apparently. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'll do it. Please allow me. I think my answer semi-stunned him into silence. At least until the grin returns to his face, full force. You're such a lovely little one, aren't you? I reach up for Sirius' flogger, instantly feeling the weight of it on my hand. Yo, the way he's looking down on me though, hold on. It's real black leather, braided around the handle for a grip, extended into a dozen thin tails. Even just feeling it brush against my fingertips makes me shiver. The effects of the nectar have fully settled in at this point. How about you start with 10? Doesn't matter where, as long as you can use your strength as normal. He pauses. But don't hit any organs. The back is a relatively safe spot to start. How are you supposed to hit yourself though? I'm so weak. I'm like little thin noodle arms. Funny that you're thinking about safety right now. Sirius' mask expression tells me everything I need to know. His patience is running dry. But it's the only thing keeping me sane while I contemplate the idea of inflicting immense pain on my own self. I'm dragging the time out. Surely it won't be so bad. I just have to muster up the courage. As soon as my palms stop shaking, fuck. With a decisive grip, I move the flogger into position in front of myself. And then I fling it over my shoulder, for the tails to reach a spot on my upper back. Oh, okay, we're really doing this. The sudden onslaught of pain makes me gasp, and I instantly drop the tool to steel myself and control my breathing. The impact lingers for a while, rippling over the skin in burning, painful waves. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's gonna really hurt. Don't swear before our god. The way I already said fuck a few times though. Sirius instantly chastised me before I can say more, and watched me from above with poorly concealed glee. That's one. Only 9 more to go. It takes everything to even pick the flogger back up, with how that hit affected me. But I can't stop now. I go for another hit, willing it to land a little lower than earlier. When it doesn't, and the lashing hits the previous spot, I double over again, whimpering into my cloak. I already feel myself breaking into a cold, clammy sweat. Oh dear. His grin is nothing short of sadistic. That must have hurt, you poor thing. I don't even know if I can do all 10 without passing out at this rate. Waiting until the pain ebbs away, for going for the next hit takes progressively longer, and every time, I can feel the priest's impatience growing. He's encouraging me to keep going. I can't. Yes, you can. The pain is all in your head, little star. It's all for the greater good, The pain will cleanse you ever so deeply, from head to toe. I promise you're going to feel so much better afterwards. You'll feel so good. Oh my god, this man is so manipulative, but I love it. Oh my gosh, I love this man so much. His voice is sickeningly sweet, staining my mind with hypnotic suggestions that leave me dizzy. I brace myself for another self-inflicting hit, and this time, I collapse, breath ragged. I can see my hands shaking in front of me, despite my blurring vision. It doesn't take long for me to realize it's Sirius. So I think this is the best, maybe possible outcome, because I feel like if I would have done Sirius, he would not have given me time to recollect myself at all. He's like, okay, you get like 5 seconds, and then just keeps on hitting me. Harder. I know you can go just a little harder for me. Come now. His tongue sweeps across his lips to wet them, and in that moment, I think he doesn't look, nor sound like a priest. But I keep that to myself as I raise my hand for the final time. When the impact lands between my shoulder blades, I succumb to the darkness. Oh, yeah, we passed out. Okay, yep, I understand that one. My senses numb, finally. It's the sweetest release. So good I could keep crying. And then I pass out. By the time I come to, I'm surrounded by the smell of cotton and feel something warm and soft on my arm. It's just the right lukewarm temperature, something like a damp cloth gently dabbing away the sweat and grime on my skin. I keep my eyes closed, fearing it might stop if I happen to open my eyes. The cloth is removed and I hear the sound of water dripping. When the sensation returns to my other arm, I almost exhale in relief. It feels so comforting that I'm tempted to drift off again. It's when the cloth runs up the side of my neck that my breath hitches. Are you awake, little star? Darn. I decide not to respond. His thumb crawls up to the rest over the edge of my ear, and with deliberate, slow, ghostly touches, he runs it around the shell until he reaches the lobe and gives it a pinch that makes something inside me tingle. Your body is betraying you. Open your eyes, Lottie. Talk about playing dirty. Oh, okay. I think we're definitely just going to ignore what happened earlier, or we're just going to embrace it either way. I shift on the mattress underneath me. Do all priests make it a habit to fondle their visitors during their sleep? Are we really going to ignore what just happened before? Mouthy from the moment you wake, I see. I bite back a response and take a moment to reassess my situation. The effects of the syrup have long since worn off, though I'm still left with a little sensitivity sparking up here and there. Do you want some water? His sudden kindness surprises me this time, and I nod in response. I hadn't realized how parched I really am. Wait here. Sirius quickly makes his way out of the room, leaving me alone and disoriented. I need time to organize my thoughts. About that punishment, for example. After all, I now know for certain what kind of person Sirius is. Okay, I need to deal with this to get the Iker. The structure of the ritual was comforting. It was very enjoyable. Honestly, I might just go right down the Horty way and just keep on saying, yeah, I really enjoy it to see how far it will take me. Was it enjoyable, or could I say the ritual was comforting? Oh, yeah, I'm going all the way. I'm going all the way with all my depravity. I can't believe I'm saying this. But it wasn't bad. No, on the contrary, I felt freed of everything in that moment. I still feel a warm afterglow on my back. I'm sure that if I saw myself in the mirror, it'd be reddened from each hit. The idea of having those kinds of marks that almost label me as his, is really nice. Yeah, we're going all the way. Okay. I lower my hood while he's gone, allowing myself just a little freedom to move. I'm tempted to remove my mask, but it doesn't feel like the right time. I can't show Sirius more of my face. My head is still swimming, as more questions come to pop up one after the other. I doubt that all followers of the lunar god engage in this kind of behavior, unless the underground is a fair bit kinkier than I anticipated. Actually, not very surprising. But that still begs the question of why Sirius is having me undergo this. Personal satisfaction? A genuine desire to follow some obscure commandments? Questionable morals? Before I can come to any kind of conclusion, he's back with a tray, carrying a pitcher of fresh water and what looks like chocolate? Correct. He hands me a little tray, and I expect the contents. This better not be spiked again. I won't unless you give me a reason to, little star. I kind of like that name. So he's the only one he can call me Little Star now. No one else can. I'm not sure if he's joking or not. Reassuring. I take a swig of water, letting it soothe the back of my throat before I reach for the square of chocolate. It's dark with an uneven surface. When I bite into it, I'm surprised by the hint of lavender and Earl Grey that melts into my mouth. Little grains are spread throughout the chocolate, in which each bite they release a burst of flavor. Volunteers sometimes come help with food, and on good days, there's leftovers. Could get used to this. We sit in silence for a while until I set the platter aside and shuffle into a better position against the headboard. How is your back feeling? It's okay. Actually, it feels kind of nice. It's not painful. I'm having a hard time gauging his reaction. Then his lips tug into another, calmer smile. It is my duty to make sure you're alright. That being said, I have a question for you. Do you need any more aftercare, Lottie? Yes. Huh? Oh, we can do something? Okay. I want a hug. I want a warm drink instead of water. I want to be left alone for a bit. I want an extra blanket. I'm fine. Can I get a hug? Please, if you guys are giving this option, please tell me he actually gives me a hug. Let me hug this man and smell him. I think I deserve one. Silence follows, but surprisingly, Sirius complies and seats himself at the edge of the mattress. When I reach my arms out for him, he reciprocates. I find myself leaning in, resting my forehead on his shoulder, while his gloved hand rubs soothing circles across my back. The scent of cotton seems to come from him, a surprisingly gentle one, mingling with the incense and candle smoke that I've grown accustomed to. It's a strange feeling, being so physically close to someone you're not entirely sure you trust. But as we share bodily heat, I feel the hard planes of his body against mine. I find myself lowering my guard. Eventually, our heartbeats match. And throughout our embrace, I never turned to look at him. I don't know what would happen if I did. Can we stay here forever? We stay like this for a while. Didn't think you were one for hugs. Humans need physical touch. It's essential to our well-being. I don't think there's any shame in indulging that. He sure loves his roundabout answers. After a few more seconds, I let go. Before I forget, my star, is it gonna tell me to forget what I saw? I've got some news regarding the notes. This makes me sit up straighter in attention. Really? Indeed. I'll be sending out someone tomorrow, and if all goes well, they'll be back with positive news. Can't we just go ourselves? Sirius seems apologetic. It is not a very safe place to be. I'd rather you stay here. You understand, right? Okay, yes, either way. I'm glad. Why? Why did that not feel quite right? Something at the back of my mind twists my words, distorting them as they leave my lips. Did that drug have another effect? I feel a cold sweat overtaking me, even as Sirius hands help me out of the bed. How long have you had your diagnosis for? 2 months. Then you still have time. His hands brush the wrinkles from my hood and stay there for a while. Yeah, I think so. I'll keep you safe. For the first time, I hear something akin to desperation in his voice, a barely audible tremble. I promise. For real? This time? I choose to believe him. Did we get it? Best ending? Go keep you safe. Hell yeah, we got the best ending! Let's go! Oh my gosh. I am in love with this man. Oh my god, you guys do not understand how much I love this man so much. He makes me so weak, what the hell? Usually I'm the type that's kind of like, liking to dom guys instead. I like them submissive to me. But honestly, right now, I might be submissive to him. Only him, though. But why was he so pretty too? Alright, actually really enjoyed that. I kind of like the dark scenery. It's a bit different from the usual like otomes and visual novels I play where everything's kind of bright. I am definitely excited for like chapter 2. I would love to have it. I am praying for chapter 2 soon, don't know when. Definitely will keep up with the development of this game. So the little safe word thing, I didn't get to try that out actually. So let me actually see. I did have a save. So what happens if we click this? I just want to see real quick. Ikimen? Oh, okay. Welcome to the Aftercare screen. This is your safe space. A calm, judgment-free zone. It will always be accessible to you. There are several options for you here, so take a deep breath and select what feels best. I want to talk one-on-one with the character. I want to be guided through my own aftercare. Okay. What one-on-one? Hey. It's okay. It's just the two of us now. Oh! There's nobody here to bother us. You don't need to worry about them anymore. The bad men are gone. Also, I'm completely safe. Always was and always will be. Same as you. Nobody will hurt you here. Talk to me. What are you feeling? I just wanted to relax for a while and I was kind of curious. That's what I'm here for. We can just chill here. We've got the place all to ourselves after all. Sometimes we just need a break. And that's okay. Times are pretty tough in the underworld, aren't they? But look at us, handling it like champs. I'm proud of you. I think we're doing good. So for now, let's take it easy for as long as we need. Just click when you're ready to continue. Ultimately, this is meant to be an exciting experience, but it's completely fine if it ever becomes too much. I never want to see you hurt because of a scene or specific content. If any kind of content is triggering or becomes overwhelming, it's fine to click away. There's no shame in that. Before I let you go, promise me you'll take care of yourself. Do it for little old me. And now, you can stick around for as long as you like. I'll be here, okay? Wait, that was actually really nice. Hold on. I kind of like the adding of that. I don't think I've ever seen a game that has something like that. I've only seen games that have like warnings that they have like R18 content and stuff that might be triggering to players. But that's actually really nice. Alright, I actually really like that little addition to it. Alright, so let me... Oh wait, can I go back home? Ooh. Ooh. Oh, here we go. Quit. I just wanted to see what that was. Yeah, we already got the good ending, so we're good. Oh, shit. Oh, and wait, I didn't have to save, did I? Since I got the good ending. So yeah, so we're good. Oh, okay. Game just decided to close on me, but that's perfectly fine. Thank God we already finished playing. So, yeah, thank you everyone who decided to watch this. I am definitely gonna keep track of the game and see when they post more chapters. So I will have links in the description to their itch.io page where you can get the game, and even if you want to do a little contribution to them. I know I paid a bit just to get the game. And you can check their Twitter too for more updates. So I'm looking forward to the next release, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. See you later!